Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's stream. That was very good timing. I actually managed to watch it and make sure that the music died before I started talking. That's always good. Yes, welcome to tonight's stream. Let me transition over, get the stream music started, get the game up on screen, get the chat up on other screen. Boom. Let's start streaming. Welcome tonight to the M4J network. We are back after a week off. It wasn't a planned week off, but in all honesty, I started looking at the things that I was going to do on the stream, and I started looking at the time that I had available. Plus, at the time, I was working hard on an XVI project. I think we were in a Discord call or something at the time as well, and I just thought, give it a miss this week and try again next week. It's one of those things as well where you're not quite feeling up to streaming, so you don't really want to put your audience through something that you don't really want to be there for, so why should they be there for it? So yeah, that's the really long way of saying I wanted a week off. So I took a week off, and now we're back. So tonight, we're going to be doing the two main things that were on the episode plan, and they are... where are we? Episode 30. Plan out the route between Munfingford and Plenbury using the new southwest spur, and also rebuild eastern approaches to Munfingford Paragon. We are still going to be doing those, don't worry, but we're going to start here at Plintbridge Parkway because there's a little something that I want to change on the Gradcity Great Northern line, and quite simply, it's to do with, let's just pin these. It's to do with the approach lines here. Currently there's 4. I want there to be 6. A little bit like how the route into Finsbury Park works. Not quite as elongated as that because there aren't any... I mean, there are storage sidings up here, but in real life you've got Fern Park, Haringey, Hornsey. I think that's all of them. And then a little bit further up, of course, you've got Bounds Green Depot as well. So we're going to be doing that to start with. We're going to be sextupling these lines here in and out of Plintbridge, up as far as Gunway Brewery, and then up to Gunway Bridge, and then here's where it will go back down to 4 again. And it also means that trains coming out of the capital line here can go through Plintbridge and then can depart at the same time as a slow line service out of Plintbridge heading north. So we're going to do the northbound first, because that's the most important. If we can do the southbound, we will, but I'm not going to prioritise it. I just want to get this bit done first. So it's going to be nice and simple. As always, the chat is open. Anyone who has any questions or conversation topics or anything like that, feel free to start them in the chat. Following on from last time, try not to be too political if you can. The Williams review and all kinds of things like that, I really couldn't care less about right now, so I'm not that interested in discussing those things. If you absolutely want to, then I suppose we can, but don't be offended if I swerve the conversation. It's not the most interesting thing in the world at the best of times. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you have, and let's get a good chat going. If there's anything in rail news as well, because I'm currently waiting for my magazine to arrive, which always happens sort of first week of the month. So if there's anything interesting there that I've missed. Good evening, Ben. Surprised to see you here tonight. Yeah, if there's anything I've missed in the rail world, feel free to let me know. Always interested in that kind of thing. Right, what am I doing? I'm going to build a little crossover here. This section here, which was freight only, I'm going to make passenger as well. Demolish this. This is gonna this is gonna become the new freight only. This little section here. So yeah, let's have a good stream. I might even, depending on how I feel after this, I might even stream something else over on Twitch. I haven't decided on that yet, and I'm kind of pinning my hopes on 1 or 2 things happening, so don't hold me to that just yet, but it might be something cool that we can do after this. And yeah, I think that's it for my news. Not a lot exciting has happened in the world of M4J lately. George, while you're here, did you get the Joker patch working on OpenTTD? I did find your question earlier. Thought I'd offer some helpful advice. So I had that thing as well. A lot of people kind of forget. Does it? Oh, I suppose it does. A lot of people kind of forget with OpenTTD that because it's open source, it's actually like all the file structure and everything is already there. So you just have to download the folder, and then the new application is inside that folder, which is really handy. I wish more games were like that. Like if you updated a version or something like that, you just got a new version rather than having to, you know, sacrifice something to the gods or whatever to make it actually work. Grand Union has put forward plans to the OOR for a 3 to 4 trains per day from Euston to Stirling via Milton Keynes Central, Nuneaton, Crewe, Preston, Carlisle, Lockerbie and Motherwell, then all stations to Stirling. That sounds like duplication to me. Sounds too similar to what Virgin currently do. They might not go to Stirling, but the bit south of Carlisle, for example, that's basically what Virgin do. So I can see that kind of getting rejected on those grounds. I haven't tried it yet. Thanks for the advice. No problem. No problem. Always happy to help. It makes a change that I'm the one offering help rather than I'm the one being helped. Let's call this North Slow Main. And then this one will be North Slow Branch. Enrollment at uni, eh? I remember my first day at uni as a young budding engineering student before it all went wrong. Good times. What was it you're studying again? I can't actually remember. That's good of me, isn't it? Oh, really? You're not going to let me do that? You son of a gun. What do I want? Fixtures. Fixtures, fixtures. Using Intercity 225s. So not only is it duplication, it's slower duplication. Because they can only go 110 miles an hour. Whereas the Pendolinos can go 125. I don't know. I'm being cynical again. Alright, I think that is going to be the new shape for this bridge. I'm also going to do the same on this side, like so. Build the new viaduct, 1 and 2. And then build that down, build that up, build that, and build that. Got some message duplication there for some reason. Computer science. Scared but excited. Never be scared. Come on now. You're an adult. Don't be scared. Everyone there is in the same position as you are. Everyone there has worked hard to get there, just like you have. You have just as much right to be there as anyone else in the room. That tells you something if everyone has the same opinion about it. Kind of makes you think, maybe there's something in that. Right, what am I doing again? Oh yeah. So this line here is actually going to go like that now. And you're going to go along like that. You're going to become that and that. You're going to become that. You're going to become that. I'm trying to remember what kind of mindset I was in actually when I went to uni. I I guess I was sort of used to it, because in the space of a couple of years I'd left school to go to college, and then I was leaving college to go to uni. So I just put myself in the same boat as when I started college and how I felt then. I was pretty nervous because at that time I was leaving school where I'd known everyone for like 7 years, and I was going to college where I knew no one. But after the 2 years at college, I'd had a good bunch of friends, some of which I then went to uni with. So I guess I was just thinking I'm going to be seeing my mates again. Sadly, I'm not really in touch with them still, which is a bit unfortunate. But you never know. Things tend to go in cycles like that. I'm just waiting for 6 days while the game decides to unpause itself so I can move this train out the way. It's the problem when you leave the game paused for a long time and then you suddenly hit unpause. It does take a little while for it to kick into gear again. I'm assuming the PC hasn't frozen. You can still hear me, right? I'll give it a second while we wait. Yeah, the Gradcity Great Northern franchise is pretty much up and running now. The last service that I'm reintroducing, you can see in the middle of the screen there, the 319. There we go, got some game sounds, which you can't hear because I haven't got it unmuted. These 319s are incredibly loud, by the way. Whoever did the sound engineering for this, I don't know whether they did a really good job or a horrendous job, but it's really loud in my ears. Come on, need to get this train out of the way. There we go. And while I'm here, we'll remove that waypoint. Did I put these the right way around? No, I didn't. I put them the wrong way around. That was good. That's better. Don't need friends, Mark. Trains are much more fun. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! You guys haven't seen this yet, but I've been recording Factorio for the past couple of days, and trains are incredibly fun on that game. When you get it all working, and you've got it all signalled, and you've just got like 16 trains crossing a junction at the same time, there is something about that that is incredibly satisfying. Right, go back to pausing the game. So, I've got to remove that crossover, got to remove this crossover, got to remove this crossover, and got to remove this crossover. There we go. Like so. And then this is the dangerous bit. Got to go all the way through there. Yes. To whatever I just decided to demolish. And then all the way... Whoops, I'm deleting track there. That's not very smart. There was something else I was going to talk about on stream tonight, and I completely forgot what it was. But I knew it was going to be good. So that's why I'm kind of annoyed that I forgot it. Ooh, I don't know. Anyway, connect that up. I'm also going to put some connections here, and when that freight train gets its backside out of the way, I'll put one there as well. We'll signal this now. So get rid of all those signals, put these ones in, like so. So then here you are slow branch 1, and then you are north slow 2 and north slow 3. There we go. Internet was really slow, had to reset it. Okay, no worries. You probably missed the whole thing about me saying about uni then. Key thing with uni is to not panic. That's probably the best advice I could give. Which sounds incredibly obvious and unuseful, but trust me. As I've always said, if I could get through uni and nearly get a first, then I'm pretty sure anyone else can do it no problem. Let's see, we got that. Bloody hell, that was a year ago. I've just realised. That was just over a year ago I got my results. Feels like yesterday. Amazing how time flies. So I don't think there's any trains that stop at... Oh no, there might be one in fact. I'll check. I'll check. That would be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it? And I can never find the... There they are. They're always a lot higher up than I'm expecting. And there we go. Right, and then here I'll just put some generic... Where's the bridge? There. I guess I'll just put that like that. Done. Ah, it's fine. You get used to it. As I say, I went from school to college and then college to uni, so I was used to going to new places by the end of it. And you do get used to it. And even uni, like I did, in the space of 2 years, I started 2 new courses and had to meet all new people. And it was only when I transferred to media that I actually met people that I still know now. So, it's fine. It's always fine. So yeah, here I'm going to do a couple of path signals here, and I'm going to do these ones here. So you are... If next order is not Gunway Brewery, if cargo can carry passengers, or if cargo can carry mail, then allow. And you, I'm going to copy from that one, except you are, if current order is not Gunway Brewery. Started that PowerPoint on the franchises. I thought you'd already started it. But that's cool. Good to see. Let's copy you. And we'll actually, didn't need to do that at all. If next order is Gunway Brewery, deny, whoops, allow, and then just do or if cargo cannot carry passengers, or if cargo can't carry mail. Restarted the PowerPoint. Okay, let me know how it's coming along. Like, send me a link to it when it's more evolved. Wouldn't mind seeing it again. So you are that. Remove this. You are going to be that. Or if cargo can't carry passengers, or if cargo can't carry mail. Everyone struggles making friends these days. One of the big problems I have with that is technology. For me, technology has ruined... Like, you used to be able to just go somewhere, sit down and talk to the person sitting next to you, whereas now everything is judged. Social media, things like that. You can know someone on the opposite side of the world better than you know the person sitting next to you. And as good as that is, and as awesome as technology is, I do feel like the way that humans socialize and interact, I think, has been ruined by the invention of like mobile phones and Skype and things like that. So for me personally, I'd say it's the same for everyone. You find the right person, you sit and talk to the right person, and you end up with a lifelong friend. And the most important thing is to not try too hard to make that happen. Just sit down next to someone, start talking. Sounds easy, I know. It's not always that easy. But when it is, it's awesome. What do I think to High Speed 2 being reviewed? I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know. I think the more they faff, the less likely it's going to happen. But there's so much money already been spent on it that they're not going to win either way. They're either going to piss the people off who've been campaigning against it for so long and are calling it a waste of money and a white elephant. But if you do that and you cancel something that's already cost like 20 million quid or however much, you know, it would probably be in the hundreds by now, you're just fanning the flames for that argument as well. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Those who are calling it a waste of money will still call it a waste of money even after it's cancelled, because then they'll then find out how much money has already been spent on it, and they'll say that that was a waste of money. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to plug away and continue, because for the first like 20-30 years it won't pay for anything. It won't pay for itself. It'll be a waste of money, sure, but in the future we'll be glad we did it. And that's what we've got to think about now. And you know, there's all this conservative thing of protecting the environment and you know, not using materials that will harm the environment, and I'm all for that. But to use that as an excuse to not build a railway is the stupidest argument ever, because any form of transport affects the environment. And if they don't build 45, I think it's 45, if they don't build a railway to alleviate the congestion, then they'll just end up building a road that not only causes just as much pollution, but actually causes more pollution per person than a railway does. So you have to build it. You can't not build it now. It has to happen. And people are focusing on the journey time and using that as an excuse for, oh no, it shouldn't happen because it only saves 17 minutes or whatever. But imagine getting somewhere 17 minutes faster and not having to worry about it. You get on a train in London, you get off it in Glasgow. That's what you want from a railway. That's what you want. And you want to be able to get places faster. We're not breaking speed records, sure, but we're certainly not leaving people hanging about wondering where their train is. Because the other dumb thing is, the same people who complain about High Speed 2 and the waste of money and the effect on the environment are also the people that are campaigning for the West Coast Main Line to be upgraded, not realising that it can't be upgraded anymore because they've reached its capacity, hence a new railway being built. I could talk for hours about that. I'm not going to, but I really could, because it really, really annoys me that these people are so blinded by certain agendas that they're not seeing the bigger picture. That's exactly it. Unconventional friendships? No such thing. You know, out of XVI, I'm the eldest by a considerable distance, and I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care. Because at the moment, I think it's like a 3-year age gap between me and Dylan. It might be 2. But when I'm 60, he's 58. That's nothing. Literally nothing. When you're younger, it makes a bit more of a difference. Like when I was at school, I had a friend who knew someone who was in their 30s. And back then you do think, okay, that's a little bit sketchy. But I don't think there was anything untoward going on. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with that. If you're friends with someone, you're friends with someone. If you're in a position to pick and choose your friends, then so be it. But I personally couldn't care less. I honestly think there's no alternative. Great Central is certainly not one. There is no environmental case for a railway. Here's the thing. Grand Central is solving a problem that does exist. And one thing we've learned in all these business boot camps that we're doing is the first thing you should do when you set up a business is think of a problem that needs solving. And then your business is the solution to that problem. Which is fine. Except the problem currently is there isn't enough capacity on the West Coast Main Line. And the solution to add more trains is not good. That's not the solution. It's a bit like if you have a really congested road and your solution to that really congested road is just to add another lane. You don't solve the problem, you just make the problem go away for like a month and then it'll come back again, because the bigger you build something, the more people use it, and then the quicker it will hit its capacity again. So the West Coast Main Line is done, finished, can't add anything more to it. But what you can do is build a new route just slightly parallel to it, goes through similar areas, a little bit faster, and that's your solution. And you run faster trains on it, and in doing so you take those fast trains off the existing infrastructure, and then you can use that existing infrastructure for things like, I don't know, better commuter services in and out of London, more trains to places like Wolverhampton, Coventry, Nuneaton, Peterborough, Birmingham, all those kinds of places. And what do you know, there's a plan for that already, and it's called High Speed 2. Almost makes you think we should build it, doesn't it? Yeah, I saw what you said, Ben. I saw what you said. I get to retire early, put my feet up, while you guys still slug away. I'm actually okay with that, believe it or not. Right, we're nearly done with all this, and then we can move on to something, I was about to say a little bit more exciting, but it's probably the same as what we've basically done now. What am I looking for? You. I think your speed limit is 30. If it wasn't, it is now. And yours, yeah, it was 30. Good stuff. Yours is 40. Okay. One done. You don't need doing. You need doing. Yes, you need doing. There's a good article by City Metric. Great Central would cost just as much. Marylebone is full. Manchester area to Hadfield is full, and tunnels under Nottingham and Leicester. Then it only links Manchester, Sheffield and London. Yeah, that's stupid, because Manchester to London, certainly Sheffield to London, there's more capacity there available on the Midland Main Line. Manchester to London, there's a couple of ways you can make that journey, so it kind of makes sense. But Birmingham to London is the bit that needs improving, and that's the bit that Phase 1 of High Speed 2 is designed for. You want something to link the two main cities of England faster. And then you also want to extend that to link the two main cities of the UK faster, which are London and Glasgow. And that's what Phase 2 is designed to do. It's not as good, I'll admit that, but it's better than what we currently have. Because at the moment, so the other day, I say the other day, it's about a month ago now, the West Coast Main Line was closed north of Carlisle. And the East Coast Main Line was also closed because of some incidents that happened there, which meant essentially you couldn't get a train from London to Glasgow anymore for however long both those lines were closed for. And then when they reopened, you can make the journey again. But if High Speed 2 existed and something happened on the West Coast Main Line, you could then transfer to that instead. It's so much better. The big surprise for me even is that it doesn't take that long to build. If we started building it now, it'll be open in 6 years, which isn't bad. Even if it's not done fully high-speed segregated lines, just getting Phase 1 between London and Birmingham and then connecting it to the classic lines there, you've already saved yourself a huge capacity problem. Because there are less trains running north from Birmingham than there are running north from London, by a considerable distance. Where are we? Plymouth Bridge Slow Main 1. This is the less exciting part of OpenTTD. But I made a rod for my own back, so I tend to try and suffer in silence and just do it off camera. Put a video on or something in the background while I'm working. It's all good. Alright, the final one. You. At least I think this is the final one. We'll find out soon. So you go here. And on the way back, here. Do. 30. Where's the... That's Morningpool Falls. Gone too far. Plintston, Great Winfield. We've also gone too far. There it is. And... done. When there is bad weather, guess what line doesn't shut? Yeah. I think actually one of my real complaints about High Speed 2 is it's not linked to High Speed 1. Because I reckon if people found out they could take a train direct from Birmingham to Paris, for example, or Glasgow to Paris, or Manchester to Paris, even places like Brussels, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, that would improve the argument considerably. Because it's only the UK, and the UK is quite a small place in the grand scheme of things, it does look like a pointless thing. Like, I do remember thinking, like 12 years ago, when St Pancras International opened, I thought, why have we spent all this money building a high-speed line on what is arguably the shortest distance possible? London to the Kent coast is not that long in comparison to, for example, London to Penzance. People are suggesting scrapping Phase 1 and building Phase 2. Yeah, it's genius. Absolute genius. How these people survive in the real world, I do not know. Right, last thing to do for this first link up is this. It does make me laugh. Like, I know I'm sitting here with no experience in the rail industry saying, oh, they should do this and they should do this, but it does make me laugh a lot when some random person writes a report on the future of British rail and they, you know, list all these recommendations that they would have, because a lot of them are absolute bull. Like, genuinely don't solve anything. Oh, you don't have... Oh, okay. These so-called experts who, to be truthful, aren't. I'm trying not to swear right now, because it does annoy me a lot. These people, they are absolute morons. So you are... Cargo can carry passengers. And you are the same as that one. Done. Yeah, I try not to get too wound up about it. But it's tricky. It is tricky. Right, is this going to work? I think this is going to work. I am going to remove... Let's add that one back in. And remove that section. Let's let this play on a little bit. Someone suggested 16 coach trains down the West Coast Main Line, or better Wi-Fi instead of high speed. Better Wi-Fi? What? So, has someone seriously suggested that as a solution? You are joking me. Surely not. "16 coach trains also won't work without a major rebuild of Euston, because there's only 2 platforms at Euston long enough for 16 carriage trains, and they are for the Caledonian Sleeper and King's Cross doesn't have any platforms long enough, so if trains get diverted from Euston to King's Cross, then no train can ever stop there. What colossal moron came up with that as a solution? These are just as big a waste of money, by the way. You know, rebuilding an entire station just to have slightly longer trains is not a economically viable solution to this problem. Alright, please tell me you're trying to go to... Okay, I think you're supposed to be on... Yeah, you are. But because I removed... Okay, that train should be fine. That train should be fine. These here should also be fine. This little crossover section here should be fine. These should already be set up. Just do this as well. Or if cargo can't carry mail. Okay, this should all be done now. Ah, okay. So their solution is just don't travel. Cool. We should all be shut-ins. Never leave the house. Gotcha. And then the same people in 15 years will be going on about how technology has ruined people's lives. They're that kind of people. I get you now. Yeah, that makes total sense. He says, rolling his eyes sarcastically. So yeah, everything in the centre of Gradcity looks swell. So let's move on now down to... Let's follow the line so I don't get lost. I think this is Buntbourne this way. Yep, and then west. Munfingford. Here we are. So, we're not rebuilding Munfingford today. That's happening next. Actually, that's happening as a 0.5 episode that I'll be recording between this week and next. But what we are doing is rebuilding all of that. I don't think I destroyed anything there. Good. Rebuilding all of this. And rebuilding all of this. To make it a little bit better, a little bit more efficient, and a little bit nicer to look at as well. Because what's the point of having something really cool like this if it's too ugly to look at? As I've always said on these streams though, you've got to be careful, because we laugh at these so-called experts talking about what we should and shouldn't be doing, but then we then start talking about what we think should and shouldn't be done and what makes us any different to them. So you do have to be careful. You don't want to come across as a hypocrite. Alright, I'm just going to try and find, and this is where I regret having all these Reddit posts. There it is. Let's get the image up on my phone so I can see what I'm doing. So the two lines, the two express lines, just continue straight ahead. And there is a bridge, I think? Yeah. Hang on a second. I'm sure there's a better image somewhere. Okay. So these two fast lines continue straight ahead and go straight in to these bits here. We'll have a gap. I think we'll actually move. So hang on. How many fast platforms are there and how many slow ones are there? Good question. I think there's 7. No, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fast and 8 slow, if I'm not mistaken. So whoopsie doodle. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are going to be the south lines, and then a gap of 1, and these are going to be the fast lines. These are all going to be fast lines. What am I talking about? These can be the north lines. Like this. And then like this. And then down and into the station. But without that bit. And like so. And then we'll build the bridges across in just a second. That is the fast lines. The slow lines, if we come in from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are going to be the two lines that branch off underneath, and then a gap of 1, and then these are going to be our slow lines coming in. Actually, again, let's not build these yet. Let's just line it all up. And done. 10 slow and 10 fast, plus 4 is shared. Oh, because, yeah, doubled. I was about to say, how did you get that number? But yeah, no, that is right. Ignore me. Are you sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? So it is 24 platforms, but are you sure it's 10 and 10? I'm going by platform length here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unless it's 7, 7. So 14. And then 7, 7 to get another 14. Oh, that's 5. It looks like 10 and 14 to me. It can't be 10 and 10 if there's 24 in total. Because that's 20, not 24. Even with the 4 shared ones in the middle. Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up though, because if you assume that there's 10 fast, so you count from the southernmost point, the 5 platforms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double it to get the 10, but then you've still got 2 platforms to the north of that on either side that are way too long for slow, so it has to be 10 and 14. Particularly when you look at how the approach lines go in as well. It's 10 slow and 14 fast. It's not very clear. It's not very clear. Also, where's my reference point? There isn't one. Okay. That's slightly problematic. So let's remove all of this, because this is all getting rebuilt anyway. Kind of doing this as a twofer. And then all of this land here, so I'm going to have to do a lot of demolition here, and then a bit here as well. Don't remove messages that might contain useful information. I hate when people do that. Like if you're in an argument with someone and they start removing messages, it almost looks like you're arguing with yourself. It's one of my real like pet peeves. Okay, so this is all going to be the eastern approach, and I think there's going to be sidings in the middle of all this. So if we go straight across like this, so if we assume that there are in fact shared platforms, then this line and this line are going to be the southern ones, which are going to come round and connect to this station, which is technically on the wrong side. So I might have to build a flyover or something. Yeah, because the slow platform... Oh god, this needs redoing. The slow platforms are on the wrong side on this line. And I'd rather just move... I'd rather just build a flyover or a dive under or something than have to redo all those stations. So Munfingford itself is going to be a pair of platforms like here, with the fast lines coming in from the side, almost like this. Kind of like that, I think. Maybe we'll build this out a little bit more and have this come out a little bit more. Move this. So if we go 1, 2, 3. Actually, no, that's the right width. If we're doing it like this, yeah, that's the right width. So we'll need to move this back. And then we'll need to... That's the wrong button. That's the Windows button. Still not quite used to my new keyboard. It's a slightly different layout to my old one. It'll be something like this. And then these will come up like that. The only problem with that is we have no room for waypoints there. So the whole station is probably going to be moving slightly to the east in order to accommodate all this. But that's not the worst thing in the world. So if we have this be that spot, and then you will come underneath like that to the new Munfingford station, which doesn't have a name yet, but might do in the next couple of weeks, depending on if we get any ideas in the suggestions. Needs to come over one more, like so. It's either that or we keep the station where it is and we just put the waypoints here. That could work too, depending on how many we need. So if it's like 40 miles an hour coming out of the station, maybe 45, we'll need 8 to get it up to 125. But that's if we're going up to 125. So I think this is going to be electrified third rail. So we probably don't need to worry about that too much. We'll see. Let's flatten this out a little bit, and we'll flatten this out a little bit. And then you and you can go like that. And we'll do that one like that. This can all be flattened like so. Okay, and then on this side we can just go boring girders and stuff. Something like that. and then build these across. Should we go tide arch, make it look a little fancy? We can do. Bit like that, and then connect these up like so. Okay, stage 1. Tick. Oops. I keep going to use WASD to move around. Doesn't work in this game. So then the next thing is to build the exit tracks here. And what are you? You're fast. And you're fast. So I think they're built the right distance apart. Looks like they are. So we'll remove all this, and we'll remove up to there, like so. You're then going to connect to this, and this one will connect up to this line here, which is going to get rerouted slightly, probably made wider. Probably made wider. Don't quote me on that. And then the slow lines. This one's going to be quite simple. You're going to go like this. And whoops, like this. And then this set of slow lines. Let's go the tunnel method for this. So let's elevate this and then go from here over. This should work, I think. Build this up a little bit more. So essentially what we're going to do is completely cut back these lines. Like that. And then this bit of land here we're going to shift across like so. And then you're going to go up, up. And then along to here. Like that, and then this side is going to be the same, like that. So tunnel, 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 tunnel. Connect, 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 and connect these. Alright, done. So I think what's going to happen, I'm using the wrong keys again. I think what's going to happen here, Runton Station, this Runton South, I think is going to actually get built. So turn this, instead of a 90-degree bend, turn it into like an S bend and have the new station in this direction. And then from here, have it come straight diagonally and connect up to this. That will probably work better than what we currently have. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So I think Munfingford Paragon Station is now going to get moved into the center point here. And then we've got enough room for junctions and storage sidings and all kinds of things like that on both sides of the station. So with all that done, how are we doing for time? How long have we been going for? Almost an hour? Is that right? Yeah, 58 minutes. So now we can move on to, first of all, let's tick this off. So rebuild, that's what we've done now. Any comments, feedback so far? Everyone happy? Save this. Because the next thing we're going to be doing is planning a route between Munfingford, which is here, and Plenborough, which is all the way down this way, I think. Oh wait, this is the route to Sanley. Plenborough is this way. So we do have this route here. I think I mentioned this before actually. Where are the exits to these tunnels? Over here. So I think this will be the connection to Plenborough, which is what's that? Slonwood Shoreside. That's a nice name. Plenborough Tarina, which is here. No one's commenting, so I'm assuming everyone's happy. So yeah, you get to this point and you actually go north, then east, and then loop right the way back around, and there's Plenborough. So I think we'll connect to the eastern. Should we connect it to this one? 1 second. Let's go up the plan list a second. Show all. I think this route is the better one. Has this already been planned? Oh, you're going to connect to that, Waterside Airport. And then connect to that. Okay. Where's Munfingford in relation to Plenborough? That's the big question. Oh, this game. Lag, 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 lag. Right, Munfingford is here. And Plenborough is all the way over here. I don't think this route will work. I think the better option is to go from this one here and connect up to Munfingford, which is still over here. Because then you can go from Sanley up through Munfingford to Guard City that way. Or maybe build this as a junction. But I'm going to plan it. Let me just find some key points so I know I'm heading in the right direction. So, Funtown. Someone remember these for me. Wuntfield and Frontbourne. Those would be like our waypoints, so we know we're heading in the right direction. So zoom in to where these tunnels come out, which is here. We'll go new plan. We'll rename it Munfingford to South Coast, because we don't actually know where it's going yet. Am I lagging or something? Just wondering why no one's saying anything. Let's go this way, and then Frontbourne will go to the west, and then it was Wuntford, I think it was. This game. I don't know where that is. I don't know where it's gone. There it is. Wuntfield. Can I plan from this height? Oh, I can. So I'm going to do like a basic rough plan. Okay. That's not what I was asking, but cool. What was the... Oh, Funtown, that was the other one. That's not what I wanted. LNER is to run Lincoln services from October. They used to. I think East Coast tried it and it didn't work. So hopefully it works this time. Okay, and then Funtown. The basically going to head straight north. Like that. So that's the plan. Should we start building some of this? I don't know. I don't really want to do a big build tonight because we're doing some major rework next week. So I don't really want to go overkill tonight. Go on, game. Work for me now. Alright, let's stop adding that. We'll save the game again. Alright, maybe it was GNER. There definitely used to be an East Coast service to Lincoln that stopped. And then they tried bringing it back. That must be the one I was thinking of, and it didn't. Well, it's not that it didn't work, it's just they abandoned it. And now we're where we are now. So this is all going to be these Great Western tracks are going to be unelectrified. The these tracks here are going to be third rail, and then all 4 of these tracks, yeah, all 8 of these tracks technically, but all 4 pairs of these tracks are going to be third rail as well. So this whole station I think is going to be moving over like 5 tiles, loads of waypoints here. Let's say the speed limit on the slow lines is going to be 75 and then 35 in the station. So we're going to need 4 waypoints there, and then 100. Actually, on these sides, it'll be 125 on this line. But I think these lines it'll be 100 because you can't go faster than 100 on third rail unless you're a diesel locomotive, which we could well do. So I might have to chuck in some extra waypoints for that. But yeah, what should we do for the rest of the stream? Bearing in mind, I don't really want to do a big build this week because I'm going to be rebuilding all of this. I'm going to probably record all 3 station rebuilds at the same time and then cut it into 3 separate episodes. So what else should we do? What else is on the to-do list? No one's made any suggestions for a while as well, which is a little frustrating. Oh, we've planned out the route. So next week we are rebuilding Munfingford Paragon in the half episode, and then we're sending all existing freight trains to depot, creating a new plan of action for freight, creating industry chains, and then plan out new freight services. And then we're rebuilding the Great Northern route between Warnbridge and Beffingway, including all the branch lines. And then we're rebuilding the North Valleys route, and then we're planning out new branch lines along that route as well. And then we're rebuilding Beffingway. So I need lots of ideas. So the Reddit post should still be pinned. If you go on my Reddit community, it should still be pinned, so you can leave suggestions. Please do so. No such thing as a bad idea. East Coast began 1 daily from 2010, but the plans for 2 hourly were abandoned. LNER is finally doing it. Before that, it was 1992 when they ran all the way to Cleethorpes. Okay. Hazy memory I have. Yeah, what are we doing? Could do some small line rebuilds, I suppose. Could have a look at some of these. So like Fort Flonwood down to... Actually, I think I did this, didn't I? Fort Flonwood to Buntbourne. I believe I did Buntbourne over to Cadingbury as well. Or if I haven't, I will be shortly. Yeah, that's probably a good turn radius we've got there. This here, I don't know. I feel like that could be changed slightly. This looks... this bit. I think this line will probably get removed anyway. Or rebuilt. Maybe to run over here instead. Something like that. Why is this still lowered? Was that meant to be a station extension or something? I don't know. Let's cover that up. And then yeah, the section between Buntbourne and Cadingbury. This section here, this hill will get cut away and redone. There's Cadingbury. This is the line that goes back up towards Gradcity. This is the line that heads down towards Bathurst Street and Drentbourne? No, Denston. There's Bathurst Street. That needs rebuilding as well. That's a really bad design for a station, if I do say so myself. Yeah, that turn, actually it might work. Like 40 miles an hour coming out of here, that could work. So yeah, no suggestions from anyone. So we've been going for over an hour. So if there's nothing else that anyone wants me to do, we could probably start wrapping up this stream, and I can think about what I'm going to stream over on Twitch. I'll give you 5 more minutes to come up with some ideas. So yeah, this is all done. We've got trains running in and out of here. Where are they? Speaking of, we'll have to work on actually getting people on board. Oh, you've got passengers. That's fine then. What's your capacity? Way below. Any services we could plan? Don't know actually. That's not what I wanted. I wanted location. We could look at extending... Oh, that's something I could do, actually. Your Patreon tier. I haven't done that yet. So we could look at doing that. So from... Where are we? Woolworth, which is up here. You have the HST services, which you wanted extended down to... Morningpool Falls, and also the stopping service you wanted extended as well. So let's go into the service schedules. Great Western. And was it? It was 2P00. No, it's not that one. 2W00. Yeah. 2W and 1P. No, 2W and 1W. They're the ones. Right. Let's do it. You might have to come and watch me do this to make sure I'm doing it correctly. I can't show it on the screen without resetting my stream setup. So out of Woolworth, you want the slow service to stop at all stations, don't you? So Canal Road, Gronville East, Gronville West, and then all stations up here. These ones too? I suppose you wanted it to be sprinters, because currently I think 2W00 is loco hauled. Gradcity Great Western. Oh no, it is sprinters. Ah, good. In that case, we could probably get away with this. Yeah. So we're with Central. Next stop is Canal Road. Gronville East. Gronville West. Oh, hang on. No, it wasn't this one, was it? It was the one that terminates at Gronville, which is 2A. Please tell me if I'm doing the right thing. 2A and 1W? Oh, 2A is sprinters as well. So, Renly, Plunningville, so what's that, 2, Kethill 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This should still all be added up. Yep, good. Copy and paste these. Whoops. Okay, so Granville East. Let's say you stop there for 2 minutes instead of 15 like you do currently. And then let's say, so it's Renly. Yeah, Renly, Plunningville, Hill, and then up the hill here to Brynborn. Although Brynborn, I could probably move. Could I move it south? I'll just do it now. Not worry about it. Brynborn North. I guess that's. And then Fronborn. Whatever I could spell. And then Monningpool Falls. Okay, so Monningpool Falls is going to be probably 30 minutes. And then all of these are going to be 0.17. I'd rather you... Well, I mean, I'd like to see what you had in mind, but at the same time, I have a feeling it's probably not going to be in line with what I've got in mind. So... I think you've linked me something before. That might be for the Great Eastern. You can link me it. Just link me it. I'll have a look. I can't imagine it's any different to what I've just done, though, if I've interpreted your words correctly. So where are we? Wooworth. And then down to Granville. Neffingburg Springs. This is the, yeah. Oh, there it is. Granville West. Okay, so what's the speed limit at Granville? I think it's 30. So 40, 50, 60. Sounds right. So we've got Renly, Plunningville, Kettle, Brynborn North, Fronborn, and then down the hill. I don't think we need this many waypoints. So it's 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Oh no, I suppose we do. And then there. Wooworth HST service extended non-stop to Monningpool Falls and non-stop service from airport to GSP, and then increased stopping airport terminated to every 15 minutes. Not sure about that last one. I think that'll clog things up too much. I'll look at it. We've got time now, so I'll look at it. But I can't make any promises. It's actually 35 miles an hour in and out of Gronville. So you're not 3,600 anymore. You are 480. So you're 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. And then you're 75 all the way to Fronborn. And then you're 65, 55, 45, you're 55, right? Yeah, 45, and then 35. And I think you're still too fast. So if you're 15 into Morningpool Falls, then you've got to be 25. Then you've got to be 35. You've got to be 45. And then you've got to be 55. And then you've got to be 65. $15, $25, $35, $45, $55, 65, 75, and then 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. It actually takes a long time to get up to speed again. Guess it's right. Unless I missed a waypoint or something. You are 75. Right. So Renly is 41 ticks. Plunningville is 41 ticks. Kethill 41 ticks. Brynborn. Brynborn North. Fronborn. And then Morningpool Falls, which is 3,600. Nope, 7,200. Okay, and then you are 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, and then 480. Okay, you're currently running every 15 minutes. Is that right? Or are you supposed to be 30? You're supposed to be 30. I might have to check a few of these, because I think they might all be wrong. So like you, 2G00 is supposed to run every 30 minutes, and you are currently running every 30 minutes. Okay, might just have been that one. So now this one's done. So 1W00 from Woolworth, you extend down to Monningpool Falls. Whatever if I could spell, wouldn't it? Monningpool Falls. Okay, you're the 30-minute stopper. This one gets turned to 5 minutes. So just to check, you don't want this train to stop at Gronville. You want it to run non-stop from Woolworth to Monningpool Falls, correct? This is where I hate stream delays. Makes my life just that little bit harder. Correct, okay. So 45, 55, 65, 75. So you're now running at the right speed. 65, 55. Which now I do need all of them. Okay, so we still have to slow down to 35 miles an hour to go through Gronville, and I do have to set these as non-stop vias, in case you're wondering why I'm doing this. And then 45, 55, 65. Oh no, I feel like I could just build another waypoint here. Be lazy about it. There we go, 75. Job done. Okay, and then 65, 55, 45, 35, 25, 15. So this, 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 and this. Looks right to me. Brynborn North, non-stop via, non-stop via, non-stop via, and non-stop via. Okay. Before I change that, I just want to add to your Gronville West. Oh god, where is it? There. So after Renly, you then go via that, and before Renly, you go via that. Okay. So you're what? You're 55. So you're 65. Which makes you 75. Who did 67? Don't know why I typed that. And then on the way back, you are 75. You should already be 65, correct? Yes. Me oh my. Right. So this is all done. Now it's got to do the speed limits. So Woolworth was that, but it's now going to be 1,200. Yeah, for 5 minutes. And then out of Woolworth, it's 45. 55. 65. And 75. And then 65. 55. 45. And 35. And then 35, 45. 55. 65. 75. 65. 55. 45. 35. 25. And 15. Into Morningpool Falls, which is now 7,200. And then 15. 25. 35. 45. 55. 65. 75. 65. 55. 45. 35 through Gronville. And then 35. 45. 55. 65. 75. 65. 55. 45. And you are going to be 1,200 again. Good evening, Kurt. Welcome, welcome. So this should all be set up. Is it every 30 minutes this train runs? It is. I feel like maybe 30 minutes is fine. I feel like it should be more. Like 45 minutes. We'll do it as 30 though. Right. Have we got any HSTs sat in the depot? Where are we? Up here. Have we got any HSTs sat in this depot? Not being used for anything. We don't. Have you linked me that thing, George? What I was going to ask was, does it have to be HSTs that do the express between the airport and Guard City, or can it be whatever stock I've got lying around? Oh, yeah, I've shared it. Oh my god. What's Metro and Connect all about? This is what I mean. If you're going to set up spreadsheets like this and share them with me, you have to set them up the same way I do. Otherwise, it makes no sense. I spend more time trying to interpret it than I do actually incorporating it. Also, it looks like you've just changed everything. So HST, Gradcity St. Peter, Gradcity Great Winfield Airport. Right. Yeah, these are all different. I'm doing good, Kurt. I'm doing good. How are you? You can actually be 45 minutes. Looking at it. Which means... oh god, where are we? 1W. Actually, I'm going to change these while I'm here. So you are GSP to Morningpool Falls. So that is 10,800. I'm not going to do the Plindon one, I'll leave that as is. And I'm not going to do the other train either, I'll leave that as is. But you were this one. To Morningpool Falls. Okay, so it can be any train that I've got sitting around. So I think we've got some loco hauled. Yeah, we got a couple of loco hauled ones that aren't being used. Yeah, all this like Metro, Connect and Intercity, that's irrelevant information. It's just stopping, semi-fast and express. You know you've already asked me that, Kurt, right? Yeah, stopping, semi-fast, express, rather than Metro and Connect and Intercity. Because an Intercity train can be a stopping train at the same time. That doesn't denote what kind of classification it is. I don't mean to be critical, but at the same time, it has to make sense. It should be something where I should just instantly look at it and go, ah, and then implement it. Also, how did you get the depot minus as the total minus depot times? It's interesting. You did know, you crafty so-and-so. Right, so this currently is part of this schedule, but I'm going to remove this. So 622 is going to go into the ungrouped pool, which you have to do from this. So what were you? GSP to PLN 622, and then 623 is going to do the same. I'm going to allocate 5 trains to this, even though I don't think we'll need 5. Copied. But how did you copy it when it didn't exist? Like, you've managed to run it down to Morningpool Falls and back, unless you've just copied it from what it was to Gronville. Okay, 624, 625 and 628 I'm going to do this with as well. I hate how small the bars are, particularly when you're playing in 4K. It's not a blessing, it's a curse, I'm telling you. Okay, and then this one. Now, can the train get across where I want it to? No, it can't. But now it can. copied from Gronville. Okay, that makes more sense. So 624, 625, and 628. So you're still running, yeah. So 628 is also now going to be ungrouped. Oh no, you're still running. Oh crap. In that case, you are copying again from this. Whoops. Which means you're also and shared vehicles. Alright, we'll just have a pool of 4 then. 4 should be enough for this. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to copy from this train. So which was the first? 622? So I'm going to copy you like this. Except what I'm then going to do is you're not going to be a go via, you're going to be a non-stop at. And then so you're going into GSP, you're coming out of GSP. I'm going to delete all of this. Like that. You're going to move up to there. And then we're going to remove all of these. Actually, we can remove this one as well. Actually, we'll just remove this one. So you are how do I change the order number? Do I have to? I think I have to insert a new one of these. So conditional order jump. You're going to go to there when reliability is more than 20. So you're going to be middle. You're going to be unload, no loading. And yeah, I think all this is done. So one of these platforms, probably this one, if next order is Plodston East 5, yeah. Or if... should I do that? Actually, no, I don't need to do that. Unshare. Remove. Which one are you shared with? This one. Yeah, you're just going to be if entered from the front. Deny. If entry direction is from the front, then deny. Allow. So trains will now come in here and then terminate in this platform and then reverse back towards Gradcity. Timetable. What have we got? Manual time. Probably 7,200 every half an hour. Actually, we could do that. That works. And then this is all set up except for the fact that these are the wrong speeds. Can I add another waypoint? I don't know. Also, you need to be probably 15. And then 15, and then you are also going to be 15. You're 30. You're 1 hour. Alright, this should work. I might just run it as is for now. Either that, or if I just don't make it go... No, we've lost... Oh, no, we haven't. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. So yeah, I think what we will do is just lower all these by 10. So I think the top speed of this train isn't 125 anyway, so... 65. 75. 85. 95. And then we'll leave that one as is. And on the way back, 95, 85, 75, 65, 55, 45, and then this one, 35. Particularly if it's snaking across all these junctions, having it be 35 is a lot better. So you're all now set up and ready to go. So we're going to make a new... Actually, we don't need to. It's already done. So 622. What classification are we going to give it? What have we got? We've got 1G and 1W. So let's do 1A. XX GSP to Great Winfield Airport, and then ignore that, ignore that. You are going to copy straight from 622. You are 622. You're going to copy straight from 622. You're going to copy straight from 622. Add shared vehicles, and I think what we're going to do is actually remove, because you've got like buffet cars and stuff, haven't you? Oh no, maybe you haven't. We're going to remove the brake standard. Don't need that. Whoops. And we will remove a first class one as well. Just so we can distinguish. Probably shouldn't have sold them actually, should have just kept them in the depot. We are supposed to be reusing rolling stock after all. So yeah, your gap is 15. You are now set to automate. Let's send them out. And then the other thing you wanted was the other service to the airport, which is this one. You wanted this increased to every 15 minutes. Okay, so let's add all this. So 1AXX, Gradcity St. Peter, Gradcity Great Winfield Airport. One day I will spell all this correct. Alright, text wrap, and then train care and depot, black line, okay, you are going to be Was it 15? Already can't remember how long I set it up to stop for. At the airport. Yeah, 15. And 15 at St. Peter as well. 30 and 60. So we haven't got a total time for this yet, but we do have a depot time, which is probably going to be the same as the HSTs, maybe a little bit slower. Frequency is going to be every 15 minutes. Okay, and then if we go up to 2P00 and change this from 30 to 15, we now need 7 trains instead of 4. And we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we got 7. Are you stopped? Yeah. Alright. We'll start all those again. So I've got some trains to follow. Let's check the timings of. So I'll be doing these off camera. Is that everything, George? Or is there anything else you wanted? Where are the Morningpool Falls? That one. Of course, it is the end of the month soon, so I'm sure I'll get some requests from people next month as well. Alright, save the game with all these changes. Have a quick drink while I do that. Much better. So I don't actually know what the HST is going to do at Woolworth when it's moving across. I don't actually know. Let me actually go and make sure I do know what's going to happen. So any of these platforms where Woolworth Branch West 1. No. Well, yes and no. It depends what you want. So let's do this. Basically, why are you asking? Because we've got capacity for a couple more new services, but they have to be... like, they have to have a reason to exist. Are you... yeah, you're shared. So I'm going to unshare you, change you to be that, and then do if entry signal is that one, then allow. Let me show you what the capacity is at GSP. So currently we have, let's work it out. All of these go to GSP, don't they? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 services across that can't be right. Oh, is it because it's done a -20? Yeah, so 42 trains currently, not including the ones we've just added, going in and out. Don't go mental with it. That's all I'll say. Don't go mental with it. Don't try and increase all the service frequencies from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, because I'll tell you now, that's the reason why it's 30 minutes, because they used to all be 15 minutes and they don't work. So currently, we've got a few trains coming in and out. The other thing you have to remember with, I don't think it does it with many of the other stations now, but GSP is one where I haven't changed it yet. Each service, the train goes in twice. So when it first comes out the depot, it goes into load, and then when it returns from its journey, it goes in again. The smart thing to do would be to do like we have with some of the services on the Great Eastern franchise, which is to only have it go into GSP once. So over here, some of these trains start at Denston, for example, and then run up to GSJ, and then out to Denston again. And it's much easier because everything converges in Guard City, so it's much easier to have the start and end locations outside of the main city, which we haven't done here. Particularly on this line, we haven't at GSP. So there are some platforms that look like they're free at the moment, but 2 minutes from now, all these slow platforms could be filled. So as I say, don't go mental with it. Choose very carefully what you do and don't add. Plus, I mean, you know the thing I always say on this, don't just add something for the sake of adding something. Don't feel like, if you have a franchise, don't feel like you just have to add something, because that's a big mistake. So choose very, very carefully. But yeah, beyond that, if there's any services that I have missed out, particularly Morningpool Falls is only going to get served by the 2 that we've already got, and all other services in and out of GSP, the only ones I probably would allow are ones that use this branch here, and even then, maybe not the entirety of the branch, just a small bit of it. But again, we'll see about that. I need to make this turn radius a little bit wider, I think. So like have it come out here straight a bit and then back in. That might work better, but we'll see. But yeah, I think that will actually do it now for tonight's stream. We've got a lot done. I'm very happy actually with how much we've got done. And I will go and watch particularly this Airport Express service, just to make sure that it is going to run as planned. I do have a horrible feeling that the slow service to the airport, I think one of the reasons I changed it was because trains kept queuing to go into the platforms at the airport. So I might have to allocate another platform for this service just to stop that from being an issue. But we'll see. Until then though, thank you very much everybody for watching. Thank you to Ben, to Kurt, to George coming in for the chat. I was hoping that we'd have some more people this week, but wasn't the case. I'm basically out of ideas now. I don't know what else I can do to get more people to watch. We've posted it in the forums, we've posted it on Reddit. I guess no one's interested, so just gonna have to put up with it. The viewing figures for this series are still quite good, so I'm not too disheartened. But yeah, it would be nice in future to get more people watching. But as I say, I don't really know what else I can do now to make that a thing. But yeah, thanks for coming in, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series. Drop some comments down below with the stream, with ideas for future episodes. The best place to go for that is my Reddit community, and there's a post set up especially for that. So feel free to suggest any new things at the bottom of that. We have got, was it 2 more weeks after this week where stuff has been planned. But if nothing's suggested between now and 3 weeks from now, then there won't be a stream that day because I won't have anything to do. So do go check that out and leave any suggestions if you do have them. And yeah, the most important thing, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. We are 10 subscribers away from the big 1K now. So one big push and we'll be there, essentially. So please do that if you haven't done so already, and tell all your friends about the channel as well, and get them to subscribe if you can. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. Until next week, and until next time, I will see you soon.